Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday 365. Today's guest is Aiden. He's a video creator who travels all over to find snakes, turtles, tarantulas, and even badgers. He jumps into swamps, rolls down hills, and sometimes even gets bitten by these animals, all to show you how amazing animals really are. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get into it. I'm excited to have you on the show, Aiden.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's have some fun. I've got a lot of great questions lined up for you and for the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet. Can you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name's Aiden. I live here in Florida, and I guess you can say I kind of like not self-study, but like herpetology is like the main thing that we kind of do. It's the study of reptiles and amphibians, and then the content part of it is kind of something that I've been trying to do the past 2 years, and it's really started to take off. Praise God for that. So kind of like a social media influencer. I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah, you have one of the craziest Instagram pages I've ever seen. I mean, the way you perform these videos. I mean, you jump off ladders, you jump down hills, you jump into the woods, right onto the floor. Into the desert. You're jumping right onto it, right into a snake,
Yeah.
and it's actually really, really crazy. I'm gonna tell everyone, go to the description down below, hit the link, and go check out his page because it's like nothing you've ever seen before. And Aiden, I really want to ask you, I'm always fascinated in the why behind someone's passions. I mean, what made you want to start finding wild animals and making videos?
Yeah, so I grew up with two older brothers, and it was kind of always just like we growing up. I'm originally from Connecticut. Not a crazy amount of wildlife there, but so we kind of just focused on like turtles and like snapping turtles. So it was like every once in a while you'd catch like a snapping turtle and it'd be cool or whatever. But then I was really big into soccer. I did a lot of sports, and once COVID hit, that stuff kind of got shut down, and it was kind of expensive for my family, so we couldn't really afford it. So I decided to stop doing soccer, and you really couldn't go anywhere. But we lived on a lake, so I was like, oh, like instead of going places because everything shut down, like I'll just go catch turtles, and because I always thought it was fun, so started catching turtles. And then my dad, he was like, dude, they get really cool personality. Like, you should just start filming it just for like fun. And I was like, okay. So I started filming a little bit, and I ended up hearing that it was like something bigger than just catching turtles. It's called herpetology, herping for short. So, just some stuff ended up coming on my feed for whatever reason, and I really liked it. And I realized that there was a whole other aspect to it, and there's different ways you could find animals, and there's animals and reptiles out there that I didn't even know existed. So once I kind of found that out, that's where I really found the love for it. Is just you kind of get an idea in your head of like, I want to find that, and in that it just keeps you going every day. It's just being like, I want to go here and I want to go here and I want to find this and this looks cool, and so then you just get stuck in like, I'm trapped, like I gotta find everything.
Yeah, you're like a modern day crocodile hunter.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Good
Do
time.
you? Yeah, no, it's really cool how you do that, and you find all these animals, and have all the knowledge on them. And do you remember the first snake you ever found?
I think honestly, it was a little ringneck that I flipped under a stone rock, and I was so young, and we were so uneducated that like nobody was like, don't touch it, like we don't know what it was, and it was literally just a harmless snake. And I remember like my dad like looking at it and us like trying to find pictures of it, but yeah, it was probably that ringneck, but it was pretty insignificant.
Now, when
Nothing.
you find these snakes and you get bit by them, are you building some type of immune system to them?
Yeah, so it's funny. A lot of people think that these snakes are venomous. I mean, the snakes that I'm getting bit by are non-venomous, and then the ones that like I do hold, like rattlesnakes and coral snakes, all that stuff. That's just me being as careful as possible. I've never gotten bit by a venomous snake. Yeah, so it's no immune system buildup or anything. It's my immune system doesn't need to do anything because they're not venomous.
Because some of them, I've watched your Instagram page when the one bit you right in the face. I was shocked.
Yeah. No, it was. Are you the one that bit me in the eye, or which one?
Yes.
The one where I jumped?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was actually my second time ever doing the jump and landing thing, and that completely caught me off guard because that snake. He was a little defensive, but I didn't think that he was going to do that, obviously. But honestly, it worked out.
What's the most common reaction when you do that jump into seeing the animal?
The animal's reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that I have to say. People think like, oh, like you're doing all this bad stuff. Clearly, you don't like animals and all that stuff. But it's like, I've done it on, venomous snakes, and it's like I don't think that they don't really react. I mean, they're just on their way, and it's like I'll just land and I'll grab them. But it's there's a certain type of snake that have like super bad temperaments that are just, no matter what you do, it's just going to be striking, striking, striking. So it's like sometimes that's good for content, but it's like, I never want people to think that like I'm just trying to hurt these animals or whatever. So I mean, to answer the question, they kind of just, they all are different, but the most common one is they're just trying to get away, and it's like, and then I'll just pick them up and then I'll start talking about it. But
See, I'm worried about you in the content whenever you're making a video. I mean, you throw yourself off ladders, you roll down hills. I mean, you're jumping right into the animals, right into their habitat, and it's something special to watch. I'm gonna tell everyone, go to his Instagram page and go check him out. And what's your favorite kind of snake?
I would say just an animal that everyone loves is probably just the anaconda. Just the pure size is just absolutely ridiculous. Definitely want to go to the Amazons at some point and find one of those. And then in terms of like snakes that you find around here, I love coral snakes, just super cool colors, but I also love rattlesnakes. All type of rattlesnakes are just super cool. They're just such attractive snakes to me. They look so intelligent, and they're just super variable too in their pattern and stuff. So probably some type of rattlesnake as well.
Yeah, snakes are so cool. And have you ever been scared while filming a video? Because when I see you jump into a swamp or jump into just a nest where a snake is or something like that, I mean, you get scared?
Honestly, I would say no. I really don't think I get scared in the moment. Sometimes my adrenaline's pumping, and that will kind of be like a sign that like I look scared. But honestly, like it's just fun. It's just fun to be. Sometimes I get like a little scared jumping into water because I've done one where I smack my knee on some type of root, or I never know what's there. If I can't see if something's still poking out, and it's like I jump and land on it. But no, I mean it's just a game. It's just fun for me.
Yeah, because that's what I was scared of. I was like, man, you could jump right onto a stick. You could have a pole under there, some type of metal, some glass. I mean, you're just jumping right into the swamp and grabbing a big turtle out of there, just like it was nothing, and then you're filming a whole video about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, how do you stay safe around dangerous animals like rattlesnakes?
So I mean, it's probably not I don't do it a lot. Every once in a while I'll do it, but in terms of like rattlesnakes, you just gotta feel them out. You never want it to be some rush thing that I'm just gonna go up and just start grabbing the snake or whatever. It's a quite a long process of you walking up to it, seeing how its initial reaction is. If you're moving it off the road, when you pick it up with the hook, seeing how it's reacting, and it's just all in the rattlesnake's timing. It's never something that's like being like, all right, well, we want to keep going, so I'm just gonna grab this real quick and try to do all this stuff. It's definitely a thought out process. Were you talking more about the jump vids, or were you talking more about just handling rattlesnakes in general?
Handling them, and I mean, I've seen you pick up just possums and stuff like that too. I mean, the amount of animals that you've picked up and shot videos with is truly remarkable.
Yeah, no, yeah, the badger was super weird. I mean, it was weird because they're like kind of like nocturnal. So the fact that they were just out in the day in Kansas was weird. But we don't know. I mean, the stereotype is that those things will just rip you apart and all that stuff. And it was like this little badger kind of went and charged at us, and it's like this big, it was small. So it was like my friend ended up just kind of like grabbing it, picking it up, and kind of just having like that second of like, what's gonna happen now? And it was literally just kind of took his attention off David and kind of just like sat there, like it was like, oh, like I'm calm, like I'm just gonna sit here. So it's like then we like started handling it like this, and then we kind of switched over to handling it like this. And then we got to the point where one of my friend's wife was just holding it like a baby, just sitting there, just like holding it. And, so it was like, it made great content. People don't believe us when we say it was in the wild, but yeah, it was found in the wild. And then, yeah, just kind of feeling out the situation, honestly. Possums, they're harmless. I mean, a lot of people think that the majority of the snakes and, even possums are just super scary, but I mean, they're not. You just got to work with them.
Yeah, interacting with a badger is once in a lifetime opportunity there, I think.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It was wild.
Now, Aiden, what do you want people to feel when they watch your videos? And can you tell us what you just done, your travels that you just made?
Yeah, I'll start with the travels. So we just the past 2-3 months have just been go, go, go. But beginning of March, we went to Louisiana, tried to find this type of milk snake, a Louisiana milk snake. And then so we were there for like a week, came back for like a day, went back to Louisiana and Georgia with a bunch of friends, Texas a little bit, came back for a little bit, and then went back out for like another week to Texas and a little bit of Oklahoma. And then, so that was like the whole month of March. And then April, we had a 30-day road trip, so we went from April 20th to May 20th. We call it the Herpetology. And yeah, like I said, that was 16 different states and meeting up with different people. And my buddy David, he went and got a tattoo in California. So went coast to coast. And then, we kind of herp around here, do some travel around here. Went down to the Everglades. And then June 18th to July 11th, we go out to West Texas to look for gray banded king snakes, alternative.
It's very impressive how you pick an animal and you go chase after it.
But yeah, that's what keeps you going. Like, I gotta find this animal, even though you've already found it. But just that, like, just when it's like the off season, that's all you think about. You just think about the one time that you did see the animal, and we call it like an in situ, like in the situation that you found it, and it's just like that's just stamped in your brain, and it's just like you just want to find it again.
Yeah, it's kind of like the video game or the TV show Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, the question was, what do you want people to feel when they watch your videos?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I just want people to laugh, feel excited. I know people are going to, I'm going to get some hate at times. But yeah, just something that's different and that people can follow, that just hopefully they engage with and they just like my personality. Yeah, just something different. Hopefully they feel like this is something that they continue to watch.
Yeah, now you've shown like turtles, snakes. Now, what's the hardest part about catching turtles and snakes and all these animals?
Probably just initially finding them. Some snakes are easy, but I mean, honestly, like the rare ones are rare because they're super elusive. So sometimes we go out and it takes a really long time to find that specific type of snakes. In terms of turtles, probably just visibility. Sometimes it's hard to see because it's super swampy, all that. But turtles are definitely easier to find than snakes, depending on the type of species.
Yeah, because I can only imagine the snakes blending into their environment.
Oh yeah, it's definitely you can just walk right past them sometimes. They definitely see you before you see them.
I mean, with all the videos and you created so far, what's one of the funniest things that's happened to you during one of your animal videos?
There's been times where like I've just done the video, just launched myself down a hill, and my friend wasn't ready, so it's like I've just had to like restart. There's times where like I've jumped in the air and kind of like knew that I was going to be a little short, so I just kind of like land on my head because like I try to like stop myself. But yeah, probably just the crew not being ready and then having to like restart the whole thing and being like, oh dang, that sucks.
Yeah, what's the thought behind doing the whole jump into your video?
So my buddy, my roommate, my best friend, he's really big on the social media thing. And so I've always talked to him. That's kind of why I moved down here, is because he was doing the social media thing I wanted to do with him. So we always were just like brainstorming ideas, and he was kind of talking to me, and he was like, dude, you got to, in the first second, catch the audience's attention. He's like, the way I do it is like a snake slithering and someone like a hand reaching down to grab it, or so like flipping something, it's like catching that person's attention. And I was like, I'm not going to put my hand down. Like, I'm going to just jump, like I'm just going to just fling myself in there. There's nothing that catches the eye more than somebody in the air and a snake on the ground. And, you put two and two together. And so from just doing like a normal jump vid is what we call it. There's no like specific name. So from that, I was like, there was times where I was like, I can expand. So that ladder one was literally just like, well, there's a ladder here. Like, let's see if we can do something with that. And I was like, well, let me just fall and just land from the top of this ladder. And people loved that. They really liked that. And then there was one where I just found like a tire, and I was like, well, let me just like roll and bounce myself down this hill. And the snake's still slithering. So that looks good too. But yeah, that was kind of just thought about as being like, I just want to catch this person's attention instantly. And then, like I said, that one that bit me in the eye was like the second or third vid I ever did, and it was like once that kind of exploded, I was like, all right, like I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah, Aiden, your content is really engaging. And which animal surprised you the most when you met it in real life?
Yeah, probably the badger is just so weird. Like, I've never seen anyone catch a badger. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I don't know. I mean, there's just been a lot of snakes that we found that we just looked for so long, and so it's always cool to find those. But I'm not sure. Yeah, probably the badger. Just can't really just caught you off guard.
Yeah, what's it like holding a baby badger?
It's nice. It doesn't really feel like a cat. kind of has like a little rougher fur, but I mean, it was literally the cutest thing ever. You know, they got like a longer snout and they got these big claws, and it was like he was super cute, and it was awesome. Especially seeing someone hold it like a baby, you know, it was nice.
Yeah, and sometimes nature says not today. Have you ever had like to run from any animals when you're making videos?
Never run. We do a lot of stuff in cow pastures at times, and there was one recently where it said "keep out bad bull," and so it was like there was just a giant bull in there, and you know we didn't have to run from it, but I know my friend recently, not recently, but he's gotten charged at from a bull, so we were a little on edge about that. But honestly, it's like we run towards them. You know, if we see some type of fox, you know, bear or whatever, you know, it's like we're trying to run towards it and see what, you know, how it's feeling, you know, and you know, it's like we want to see what's going on with it. You know, so we're not really scared. I'm personally not scared of a lot of animals, so it's I'm never really run away. Actually, an alligator, not an alligator. Well, it was an alligator, but I wasn't really scared. But it was definitely like, dude, this thing could just charge me at any second. So we weren't touching it or anything. We were kind of just observing it from afar, and but we were you know, there was times where it would just, you know, kind of whip around and be like, hey, like, you know, I'm right here or whatever, and you know, that definitely got you on edge. You know, you're a little nervous about that, but not too crazy.
No, it's powerful insight because a lot of people are scared of animals. They run the opposite direction. You're running towards bears and all these other animals that you're chasing.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's just fun opportunities you might not get anymore, and so it's just like you just want to go after it and see what happens.
Yeah, what's the basketball quote? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, exactly. You know, might as well try.
Yeah, and Aiden, everyone has a favorite like adventure spot. Can you share? I mean, what's your favorite state or place to explore for animals?
Florida's a great one. They got a lot of species. They got the whole alligator aspect. Sometimes these crocodiles. They got, you know, wide variety of stuff. Texas is great. You know, Texas is another one that's got a lot of stuff. Kansas is really cool, where we go in the Flint Hills and we'll flip for rocks for milk snakes, and that's a lot of fun. You just flip rocks all day, but you know, every once in a while you'll see a fat red milk snake, you know, right under it, and you're just like freak out. So in terms of like my favorite kind of herping, is probably going to Kansas and flipping for rocks, and also like shining cuts for Alterna in West Texas. But in terms of like just going somewhere, it's just going to the Glades. Glades is so much fun. You can find such a wide variety of stuff, and usually you have a pretty good crew with you, so it's a good time.
Yeah, I see a lot of traveling in your future for your content. Have you ever wanted to go out of the country and find some wild animals?
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's funny. I don't even have a passport. You need to get a passport, you know, for some spontaneous stuff if I ever get like invited. But yeah, definitely want to go to the Amazons and just, you know, talk about a place that's just unexplored and just has millions of animals, you know. And you know, so I definitely want to go there. Mexico for sure. I want to go there. They got a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, definitely want to go outside of the country soon. That's actually a bucket list for this year.
No, there's a lot of cool spots around the world that you could go travel and go find kangaroos to you can go find polar bears. You can do whatever you want if you wanted to.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
the content. I wouldn't be jumping in front of any polar bears or any kangaroos like that, but
Yeah,
only
yeah,
time will tell for you on that one. What's the best part of making videos in nature?
yeah. Just being out there. Being out there is super nice. I would say, um, I like getting the shot. Getting the shot's nice, especially when you do a big roll down a mountain or whatever. I mean, there's times where we don't get it, and it's like it kind of throws you off because it's like, dude, like I don't really want to do that again. But then there's also like, you know, when you do get it, you're like, perfect. Like that's gonna be a good video. You know, I'm excited to post it. So definitely getting the shot and just being out there with your friends. You know, there's times where we don't even find the snakes. Just the just the view of being out in West Texas or you know, being in the Glades is just, it's nice. You know, you still get to hang out, and you know, just being out there is awesome.
Yeah, and I've noticed you've had a couple sponsors. You have a watch and a watch company, and you have a glasses company, a sunglasses company. You ever think about getting sponsored by like a Neon Sporn or anything like that after all the scrapes and cuts you get?
Yeah, that would definitely be a good idea. I mean, it's kind of hard because it's like I mean the brand deals were really cool. You know, that was something that was like I didn't really expect. You know, and then it's like you look at a DM and they're reaching out and they're like, yeah, we want to send you this stuff. Like wear it in video, do all this stuff, and I'm like, that's like the coolest thing ever. But I've kind of hit like, I've reached out to some companies, but it's like, I'm like, who would benefit from like my target audience of like the whole reptiles and everything? And it's like, I never really thought of like being like, yeah, I could totally reach out to some neosporin company or some type of boot company. I thought that I was pretty limited on the stuff, but the more that I kind of think about it, the more I'm like, dude, like the sky's the limit. You know, it's like I can reach out to anybody.
Yeah, I gotta ask you, what type of gear do you need to carry when you're looking for animals out in nature?
So it's kind of like your own preference. Just wear normal stuffage for like my clothes, and then we have like a hook if we have to like move anything that's like venomous or whatever. And then I just bring like a backpack of water. But that's pretty much it. That's all I wear. And obviously, there's like different terrain, and sometimes you're going out at night, so you have to bring like a flashlight. But it's pretty minimal.
Do you have a dream animal to find?
I really want to find an alligator snapping turtle. I get so jealous every single time someone finds one of those because those can get massive. There's some snakes that I've found that I would love to just find them as like adults, you know, like a Burmese python. It's like although they're like already like adults, but like they can get huge, you know, it's like they can get upwards of, you know, people think there's 20-foot pythons out there, which is wild and just wild to think about that's true. And then, but I've only found one that was like 6 or 7 feet, you know? So it's like, I want to find a bigger type of python and find the anaconda, king cobras. Yeah. Yeah. Just probably stuff that I can't really find in the United States at times.
Okay, that's really cool. And I gotta ask you because a lot of listeners out there would love to know what advice would you give to a kid who wants to do the same thing you're doing?
Yeah, I would say like, you know, just do it, you know, and it's like, you know, I know everybody says like, you know, like don't listen to hate, but it's like you do definitely get hate at times and it's like it sucks and you feel really misunderstood. But it's just like, you know, I've started getting hate in the beginning and it's just like if I stopped, I would, you know, I'm super happy that I didn't, you know, because it was like, you know, when I was doing it, I was, you know, I was younger myself, you know, I'm still young, but, you know, it's like that stuff takes a toll on you at times. So, you know, it's just like, just doing your own thing, you know, just doing your own thing and, you know, just go do it. You know, it's like, you know, it's not always going to align that like you're going to be able to do this or do that, but it's like, as long as you can just get out there and just do it, you know, and, you know, take that leap, you know, I moved down to Florida once I turned 18 and, you know, it was like a lot of people were like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, you didn't go to college or anything. And it's just like, I'm like, dude, like, it's my passion. This is what I want to do. And it's just like, I'm just going to fully commit to it. And, you know, it ended up working out. So
If you don't mind me asking, what type of hate were you getting? Is it like a lot of people that don't like you messing with nature?
sometimes messing with nature, other people just, you know, they'll get mad at me for not wearing a shirt at times, even though it's the middle of the Arizona desert or the, you know, in Texas and it's 100 degrees and, you know, they'll kind of talk about that. I used to have pretty bad acne, still do, but, you know, a lot of people would just bash me for that. And, you know, and then you know, even though sometimes people don't communicate it to me, it's like I know in the herping community, there's a lot of people that probably just think my stuff is really cringe and stupid. And, you know, and it's like sometimes it's people that you look up to, you know, it's like, you know, people that like kind of got you into herping, you know, it's like, you know, that they probably don't like your content, which is kind of hard to swallow at times, but it's okay.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy yesterday and I go, everyone wants the view, but they don't want to take the climb.
Right. Right.
It's one of those things about life, you know? It's like, oh, you put in a lot of work to do this, to make this happen. I mean, you have such knowledge on all these animals and you're finding them and you're describing what they are and you know, how you found them and you're jumping right into their habitat. It's actually really remarkable what you do. I appreciate what you do and keep doing it. Don't stop. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm definitely just going to keep going and, you know, figuring it out myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. And I got to know, what was your favorite memory from the past year of filming?
Favorite memory. I liked just expanding the whole jump vid aspect. You know, it's like I said, it was kind of just me jumping on the ground, and then the next one it was like, dude, there's a giant hill right there. Like I could totally just roll down that. And you know, there was one. You know, I've done a one or two ladder videos, so just kind of expanding that and seeing that people really like it. You know, and definitely, yeah, just expanding on that, and I'm definitely excited to see what else I can think of.
Yeah, do you ever look back at your old videos and laugh at what you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are just looking at videos of, you know, stuff that I would say that was just completely wrong, or, you know, the way that I was filming stuff, you know, just zero lighting on me and, you know, the camera's all over here and I'm completely cropped out. So, you know, definitely looking back and being like, dude, what was I doing? Or even just the captions I'd put, everything spelled wrong and my grammar off. And, the pictures that I posted, I was like, dude, like, how did this not go mega viral, And it's just like, just the beginning of just the early process of working stuff out.
Yeah, we've all been there, even me with this podcast. I know exactly what you're saying. And if anyone wants to try content out there, do it. I mean, nothing's stopping you. And the best thing I can tell any advice to anyone out there is just press record.
Yeah, literally.
Now, I really want to ask you this one too. Why do you think it's important to teach people about wild animals?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that just are just uneducated on stuff that just just kill a lot of stuff. I follow so many different Facebook pages, and people will be like, this is a blank, or some type of venomous snake, even though it's not, because they're able to identify it and be like, yeah, you just killed that animal. So it's like it's definitely nice to educate people on that, so they kind of know what they're doing, and you know just kind of go around it instead of needing to like kill something, or if they can just, I mean, people DM me all the time being like, hey, like, you definitely inspired me to learn a little more about the snakes in my area, and now I don't kill it, I don't kill it, and just kind of let it be on, go its way. But just important of just getting more familiar with species, and yeah.
No, you've taught me a lot on your page by what species is poisonous, what's not. I mean, even how to catch a badger and finding a possum with little kids and stuff, like little babies. That was a cool video too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, what do you want to be remembered for in the animal world?
I would definitely say that, like, I want to be remembered as someone that's like smart. So I definitely want to have those videos that it's like I just intentionally talk about this animal and really elaborate on what this species is about, and kind of talk about their range, habitat, what their temperament is, and just give some more scientific facts on it. But yeah, smart, and then someone that's just like willing to do it. It's like I don't see any, I'm sure people are out there doing similar stuff, but it's just like that whole aspect of falling down the mountain and stuff. It's like, just this guy is just a funny, down to earth guy that just wants to, make people laugh.
No, you do make people laugh. And I got to ask you, when you're dealing with these snakes, is your personality involved when you're dealing with them, or can they sense anything with snakes with all your knowledge on working with snakes?
Sorry, can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, so when you're messing with a snake, or you pick up a snake, does the snake understand that you're pulling it from its environment, and does it know that you're calm with it? If you go into a situation that you're not calm, does the snake usually try to bite you, or how does it know that you're safe?
I think all snakes kind of have different temperaments, but yeah, just making the snake just feel safe, just supporting it at all times, and trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, you don't really want the snake to be super stressed out, so it's like just making sure that you're taking care of it, and that's like the main priority. And that's why I kind of led to myself to like the whole jumping down the mountain and stuff like that. It's like, that's me doing it, not the snake. So it's like the snake can just sit there, I can do my thing, and then when I get to the snake, it's like, just pick it up, and try not to stress it out that much. But yeah, I have some questions.
Now, Aiden, if you go back to your younger self before you started all this, what would you say to your younger self?
Yeah, probably just that I don't want to be basic and say it like we're doing it, but it's just like, when I grew up, it was kind of, I grew up in New England, and it was like, we'd go like up a state and like have like a vacation or whatever. But it was like, I've never thought that I would be traveling the country right out of high school and seeing all these animals that I've dreamt of seeing, and hanging out with all these people and gaining this social media following. And it's like, I just never really thought that that was something that I'd be doing, So it's just like, yeah, I probably just tell myself that, like, I kind of always had that mentality of being like, just do it, and it's just like, it's all going to work out. So I don't know specifically what I would say, but something along those lines of, we're doing it.
Yeah, it's really impressive that you have over 300,000 followers on Instagram, and you're traveling the country doing what you love. You're not working a 9 to 5,
Right.
And this is the part of the show I want to transition to, the Friday mindset part of the show. I want to dig into your journey, your mindset, and the moments that shaped you. What has been one of the best pieces of advice you ever received?
Definitely everyone that's kind of told me about my relationship with God. I think that's something that's like, that's something that, like, I'm just super grateful for, that just making that my number one priority, and strengthening that. It's definitely, with all the people that like have like a bunch of stuff to say and have like a lot of hate and feeling misunderstood. It's like, I know that God knows me, and He knows my heart, and times are, I'm not scared of like the snake, but just scared of like a situation, just feeling at peace with God. And that's definitely something that like I, super blessed that God has blessed me with the algorithm and in the ways that I've gained followers on my social media. It's definitely nothing that I'm doing, and it's all just glory to God. So definitely anybody that's kind of communicated that has definitely been like something that like I've valued. So that was been cool.
Yeah, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you do with it is your gift to God, and you're doing that with your filming your content with all the videos.
Right, yeah.
And what's one truth about life you wish more people understood?
Truth, I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't know. I'm just so young, I don't really know who am I to kind of.
You could be like, snakes are friends too.
Right, yeah. Ultimately, I'd love for everyone to just kind of love snakes. They get such a bad rep. People think that they're slimy, and people think that every a good snake is a dead snake. It's like that's kind of upsetting to hear, but um, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Because most snakes are really good for the environment and everything else, the nature. They kill mice, and they take care of the environment around them.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of good things about snakes being around.
Yeah, what's one of the biggest risks you've taken recently?
Biggest risks? I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably just doing the social media thing. Like I said, I sucked at high school, but I didn't go to college. I kind of told my family like, hey, like this is what I want to do. I want to move down to Florida, and I want to do the social media thing. And my parents are super supportive, but there was definitely people that were like, yeah, I don't know if that's the best idea. But so probably just that risk of not going to college and trying to figure it out myself. I just moved down here, got a job, started working. Any little money that I had, it was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna, when I go on these trips, just try to provide for myself. So definitely just moving down here probably.
Yeah, it's one of my realizations too after high school was like anyone can make it. You don't need to go to college. You don't need to have the A's. I mean, a C student can make it just as well as an A student nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And what's been one of the biggest driving factors for success in your career?
Oh, definitely my parents. Parents have just been so supportive over everything. It's like they have given me so much advice and have just really believed in me all this time. So it's like I definitely want to just, my brothers too. It's like they're probably some of my biggest fans. They watch all my videos, and they were always kind of big into like the finding snakes and turtles and all that stuff. So it's like for me to kind of take it the next level and be like, dude, like I found this snake and kind of just making it as much as I can and hopefully making them happy in that.
No, I resonate with that because my family, they watch all my content too.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And it's a cool feeling when you get family involved and they start cheering you on, watching your content, and it's really cool.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
And the show is called Every Day is Friday, and Friday has a special energy, whether it's freedom, excitement, or just feeling of accomplishment from a long week. Aiden, I want to hear from you. What does Friday mean to you?
Yeah, Friday's just like that time where you get to do whatever you want to do. It's like it's not really like just have that freedom to go out and do whatever makes you happy. I mean, I don't really like have like a 9 to 5, so I don't really know. I mean, I know what it's like to not have to work, but yeah, just that freedom to kind of just do what makes you happy, and you realizing that you got the weekend ahead of you, so it's like you can just relax and do your own thing.
Yeah, that mindset of anything is possible, which is really cool. This is your chance to leave the listeners with something powerful. Is there anything else you want to share?
I think in terms of like doing social media, just finding your shtick, find something that makes you different, and people love that. People love finding something that's different, and I feel like once people kind of caught on to like the whole jump it thing, it was like they were really quick to engage and follow on that. It's kind of hard to do what everyone else is doing. They've seen that, and people's attention spans suck nowadays. So it's like just try to catch that viewer's eye quickly, and just keep going. Just do it.
Just do it is right. And all your information will be in the description down below. I want to make sure the people know where to find you. Where can the people follow and support your work?
Yeah, Instagram is definitely like my main thing. Just CT seeking, and then I try to trying to do like the whole TikTok thing, but it's just hard because their community guidelines are super strict. So it's like they don't really like to see any type of blood or see any type of snake striking or people falling, or they just take it down really quickly. So it's kind of hard because those are the videos that do good on Instagram.
How about YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, I need to definitely get on that. I'm definitely pretty lazy with it at times because it's like that's like a long form platform, I would say, and I haven't really I used to do like long form, but I don't really anymore. I've kind of just done like the shorts, but I'm definitely going to start posting on YouTube more and trying to grow on that platform.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to dip your toe and do some more long form videos for YouTube, because I would like to know a little bit behind the scenes when you're going out on these trips to go find a snake,
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be really cool to see that. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of listeners got a lot of value out of this. It's been an awesome conversation. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Matthew.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing your stories and experiences.
Yeah.
And to everyone listening, stay tuned for more amazing stories on Every Day is Friday 365. If you enjoyed this, make sure to follow, share, and keep that everyday mindset going. Stay inspired and make every day feel like Friday. Until next time.
Every day is Friday, and you're living my way.